Good afternoon, everyone. We are so excited to have you joining us today for another Did You Know? And I'm Samantha Russell, and I am joined by Amy Galley. And we are going to be talking all about how you can take one piece of content, especially when it's a timely piece of content, and use it to fuel an entire month's worth of marketing and how we make it easy for you with FMG. So just a couple of, quick introductions. If you've been here before, Amy and I am our chief evangelist here at FMG. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, I'd love to connect with you there. I try to share every week a quick, easy marketing win or tip for you, something in the news, something that we're doing, or just something you can try out to grow organically. And Amy, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Amy Galley. I'm the Vice President of Product and Customer Marketing. I'm so excited you're all here today. And connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And Sam, it just reminded me that this week was my 4-year anniversary here.
Oh my gosh, I think we're like almost a year apart in our start dates because I think I'm about to hit 5. So amazing. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
So a few housekeeping items because the number one question we always get asked is if you'll get the recording, and yes, you will. We will send it out as well as slides and then some good handouts that will be excellent resources for you. But if you've been here before, you know we love to interact with you all in the chat. So we want to hear from you. We want to see that everyone's active. And I think we all learn better when we're interacting. So use the chat to, your benefit to help each other out as well as to ask questions. But if there's a question that you really, really want to make sure we see, just put it in the Q&A box because then it won't get buried as much. So to start us off with the chat, actually, I would love to know how long have you been utilizing FMG, and have you been to one of these Did You Know webinars before? We would love to hear from you and see if we've got some OG people here joining us today. So Amy's been here 4 years, I've been here 5, and we love doing these every single month. So let's see, Vanessa,
And
her very first webinar. Welcome, Vanessa.
and I want to mention, because you talked about those OG people, we have people that come every month, and some of you might be missing Elise. She has been doing these for a very long time, since the beginning, and she's been on maternity leave, but her maternity leave ends next week. So in October, you will see her back.
Yay! Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, we've
we
been
are
missing
so
her.
thrilled to have her back.
Yes, her sweet baby. So we've got a lot of people that are, I'd say, like relatively newer. It looks like we have some people who are saying they've been with FMG for 6 months. Eve said 2 years. Jim since 2019. Awesome, and he's been to a Did You Know before. Let's see. John Patrick, welcome. His first webinar. Kim's first webinar. Andrew's first
Right.
webinar. Phil's been here 5 years. So we've got
Joyce, I'm an OG.
I love it. I love it. I love the OG. And if you have been to a webinar before, maybe tell us in the chat which one was one that you still think about or remember, like, man, that taught me something or opened my eyes to something I hadn't really thought of before. Because that's always interesting for us to know as we plan out future ones to help you grow and think about how to improve your marketing. So, Hannah just said your AEO webinar. If you're not familiar with AEO, it's AI optimization. So we've been talking about SEO for years, and AI optimization. How do you get found by the AI tools is something we've been talking a lot
And
about.
Susan and I have it up here, the replay. Susan and I did one on our newest AEO tools last month. So we'll include that when you get your resources at the end, the replay from that, so you can see that.
Amazing. Oh, and I think we might have a winner of the longest. Troy
Oh,
just said 11 years.
11 years. Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. You have seen the evolution. I love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump in. So today we're going to talk first about what kind of content should you be talking about. This changes a lot, and I think with AEO and AI, it's changing right now more than ever. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about what kind of, we're calling it here your anchor content. So think of it as the main piece or the anchored piece that you're going to use to build off your whole month's worth of content. And then we'll talk about how you actually repurpose that amongst many channels, and then how to actually build your calendar out. And for joining us today, we are so excited. We always do this. We want to give you something to make it worth your time to join us. So today we are giving you the One Big Beautiful Bill Communication Toolkit. This is amazing. I think our team blows everything out of the water, but this one in particular, it's a bill I'm really curious about what's in it, and I learned so much. And so basically what it does is it gives you that anchor piece, and then it gives you social posts that you can create. Amy, what else is in there? Blog posts, emails?
There's a blog post, email, social, and this one for customers, we do a different content sample drop. And so you can find that in the library, but you'll also get this in the resources. And we're using this as our example today for content topic, but Sam did a webinar a couple weeks ago with a CPA that actually dives into the bill. So we'll give you that replay as well. So we're not going to talk about the bill, we're going to talk about how to repurpose that content. But if you want to learn more about that, we will share her past webinar.
Right. Great point. And, obviously, I don't think we need to tell any of you this, but sometimes it's good just to see the numbers again. A lot of times people ask us, well, how often should we be communicating with clients and prospects? And if we look at different research, this is one from McKinsey, but I know White Charts has had a study, Kitsy's has had a study. If you ask people what's the number one reason why they have fired their advisor, across the board, it is not performance. It is not, your portfolio or things like that. It is communication, that they felt like their advisor kept them in the dark about certain things. They didn't communicate well. They didn't hear from them enough. And this is something that is 100% in your control. A lot of things we can't control. We can't control the markets. We can't control what the tax law changes are, but we can control how often and how well we communicate with people.
Okay, so let's talk about the first thing is what should you talk about? So, what content is your audience interested in? So, one of the easiest ways is to search the headlines. And so, for our example today, the One Big Beautiful Bill, there's so much content out there. So, creating your own piece and really putting your voice behind what you want them to take out of it is so important. So there's that one, search the headlines. And then I love this one too. What are your clients asking you? There was an advisor that said their office manager takes all the calls and said, write down exactly in their words, what are the questions that are coming through? And I think that was one of your pro tips too, Sam, was that, use their exact words, not yours. And then you can think about some seasonal or timely financial planning things like RMD deadlines or year-end tax planning. And then we'll also show you FMG does a 10-minute marketing calendar, which gives you some ideas as well.
And I just want to parlay on that last point about
Mhm.
using your client's language. One of the things, people are coming to us and saying, how do I get shown in these AI overviews or the snippets, the featured snippets at the top of the page? One of the things that's really changing in visibility right now online is that all of these tools love conversational language. So they want to, if someone's asking a question, they're going to give them results back that mirror the language that the client themselves use. So if a client does not say, can you please recommend me a holistic financial advisor? They'll probably say something like, I'm looking for a financial advisor who will help me with everything, a one-stop shop, someone who's going to help me with taxes, estate planning, investments. Who should I work with? That's the language you should use, right? If your clients aren't saying the word holistic, you are not going to get found using that term. So hopefully that helps explain that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple great places for finding content. If you have not downloaded the mobile app, it's excellent. And one of the nicest features of that is that as breaking news happens, we have a whole content team that's writing content for you, and it shows up right on your home screen. It's like, this piece of content is ready. Do you want to send it? So that's one of the nicest features about that mobile app. Also, if you go into the content library, there's a timely content collection. So these are the newest and most relevant content. Just go back there regularly and check in what's happening there. We have the content search feature, and then there are a couple FMG calendars. I mentioned the 10-minute marketing calendar. We also have the Do It For Me marketing calendar, which is our premium package. And then we are going to show you a little later our AI tools that can just write content for you.
I would love to know too in the chat, how many of you are using the mobile app? Because that is something that comes with your subscription. And yet we still, I don't know, Amy, I feel like our adoption rate isn't as high as we think it should be. And it's amazingly easy. And one of my favorite features of it actually is there's a feature in there where you can see your calendar at a glance of what you actually have
Yep.
scheduled. And I don't know why, but I think the UI UX there is really great. And it just really shows you visually what you have scheduled out. So if you haven't downloaded before, just search FM. Is it just
I
FM?
actually have a QR code at the very end that I'll throw up here, but I'm seeing no, 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 and a lot of not yet. So not yet, it's great.
Okay, so that's one of your homeworks for today. Takeaways.
Yep.
Download the app. It's you just log in with your credentials and it's so, so, so cool. I hate to use that word, but cool to see and easy to use. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Keep
absolutely. So this was just we are going to jump into the library so you can actually see some things, but I wanted to show you, I put in one big beautiful bill and I got a web article, Instagram, email, social post, all this. So it's a great way to like find content if you have that idea. All right. Do you want to talk about anchor content?
Yeah, and there's a couple questions maybe we should just answer. People
Okay.
asking for the app about a good compliance question. And Amy, I don't know the answer to this. So it said, if I submit a post through the app, does it still go through the normal compliance channels?
Yep. Everything that you do in an FMG platform, whether it's on your desktop or your mobile app, all your compliance workflows are built in there. So you never have to worry about.
And then someone
Right.
asked, is this only for the Do It For Me program or which subscriber levels get the app?
No, everybody with marketing tools gets the app. So if you only have website, you're not going to get the app because it's all for marketing tools, but on the essential side, essential enough. So everyone should get it.
Amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Let's keep going. So let's go back to creating that anchor content. And again, think of the anchor as just that main piece that you're going to use to fuel the whole month. And honestly, one of the things that I think is helpful to think about this way is that human beings often sort of think in themes, right? Think of your children. You can tell them something once, you can tell them something twice, but oftentimes it's just the constant repetition that helps it sink in. Our brains work the same way. So having a whole month around a particular subject is a really great way to be seen as an expert with that particular subject. So if you just send an article one time to clients and prospects about a particular tax planning strategy or something in the news, they might see it, they might not, they might think of you one time. But if your whole months of content, they see social posts from you about it, they see a blog post, they see emails, they are going to associate you as someone who has expertise and authority on that particular subject matter by the end of the month. So it's a great strategy for efficiency for all of you, but it's also a great strategy for showing off your expertise. So really it's as simple as you're going to go into the FMG library, you're going to choose your one piece, your blog post. It's going to turn into a blog. You can edit it or use it as is. Or if you have our, Marketing Suite Premium or higher, you can use the AI tools to customize it as well. And then you're just going to turn it into a blog post that lives on your site. So this is what the AI tool looks like. You can see we have the navigating the one big beautiful bill, key impacts. We are going to, we'll be able to show more of this for you, but you can see you're able to choose your writing style. How long do you want the piece to be? Do you want it to be short, medium, or long? You can give any kind of details. It will create the piece for you, and then you can even add more details. So you can say, oh, I forgot to mention, or make this specific to retirees in California, or make this specific to people, that are my niche audience, which is fill in the blank. So you can really utilize it to customize it for your audience.
So Sam, I love that point. We just did a webinar on hyper personalization at scale, and it was so easy that you can create one piece, and just by changing the audience and saying, now make it for COIs and use a formal tone, or now make it for customers and do a little more informal. Like you can create a ton of content in not a lot of time using that one piece.
And we find that human beings tend to tune out anything that's not relevant to them. So, if there's a piece that's just about the one big beautiful bill, a lot of people might not pay any attention to it, not realizing it's specific to them. But if it said something in there like, if you are, already retired and receive these government benefits, that could be changing under the one big beautiful bill for you. People who are in that group are going to pay attention, right? So utilizing AI to customize it and make those tweaks for your audience is such a good strategy. Just a couple questions about Muse that I saw coming in is asking if, so not everybody's compliance has approved Muse. A lot of folks have, but some haven't. So if you don't see it and you are on premium, that might be the issue, but certainly contact us and we can check into it for you. Okay. So, all right, so we choose the piece, we add it as a blog post to our blog. And by the way, too, again, I know I keep harping on this, but AI is really changing the game with search. If you search for something on Google up until basically a few months ago, you would often see in the Google search results articles that were even 2, 3, 4 years old because they were like the authoritative posts about this subject. Now, they have a recency bias, the AI tools, Perplexity, Claude, Copilot. They want to see pieces that are more up to date and they see them as being more likely to be accurate. So making sure you're choosing something and adding it to your website like a blog post once a month at least is such a good strategy to keep these AI tools happy in recommending your page as an up-to-date, expert-led site. So that's number one. So you're going to add it as a blog post. Then you're going to literally pull up a calendar for the month and say, when could I send an email to clients about this particular topic and recreate this blog post as an email? When could I send one to prospects? When could I send one to centers of influence on that list? So those are at least at a minimum the 3 lists we recommend you have: centers of influence, prospects, and clients. Then you can pull out key stats or facts or quotes, or maybe pose a question and turn that into social posts. So from this one blog post, you could maybe make 4 social posts throughout the month, once a week, that are talking about the topic at hand. You could also use FMG's event builder tool and make an entire webinar about this particular topic. And we'll talk to you about how you can do that. One of my favorites, I love to make video. I think short form video, we've seen a huge explosion in this. And all of you probably realize right now you're watching video on your phone more than ever before. So imagine you take the main talking points for your audience about the One Big Beautiful Bill. You could even ask, AI to do that for you. Hey, here's this article from FMG. What are the main 3 salient points for my audience of X? And then record a short video of yourself talking about it, either using your desktop tools or your phone, which I can get into. And then the lead magnet, you can offer a downloadable based on that. So I know that seems like a lot to go through, but we're going to, again, show you more how to do it using this demo.
All right, let's get out and I'm going to show.
Oh, and sorry, Lisa asked one more time, what are the 3 groups you should have while you're doing this, Amy? At a minimum, we suggest that you have 3 groups in your email list. So you want to have one for clients, one for prospects, and one for any centers of influence. And that, a lot of times people think of centers of influence as, CPAs or estate planning attorneys. But it might not be let's say you have a prospect that's a business owner. Maybe they have an admin that they work with or an office administrator. So the office administrator isn't the prospect or the lead themselves, but they have, the ear of the person you're trying to meet. You could put that administrator or that, office support person on your centers of influence list. So the whole idea is you keep these 3 different lists and you're going to have some communications that only clients should get. But what we find is a lot of times advisors forget to send this thought leadership pieces to those other 2 groups, specifically the centers of influence, and staying top of mind with them is really important.
All right, so here's our content library, and we're going to show you some of the AI features. Those are premium features, so just you all have access to this library. And so I just searched One Big Beautiful Bill in here. And so if you are on essential or base packages, you're going to get access to the content that's in there. So you'll still have emails, email sequences. There's social posts in here, and you can take these and you don't need those AI tools to adjust them or make tweaks to them as is. So I want to show the library there. So let's start with our big piece, Sam. We're going to go over here to create a blog and write with AI. Let's see. So what do you want to use as our prompt here? What do you think?
Um, I think we should say something about we'd like to add, I'm a financial advisor that works with people getting ready to retire as well as people already retired. And I'd like to create an educational piece about the one big beautiful bill. I'm going to do that. And again, if you didn't have this AI tool, we're showing it off because it's new and a lot of people are excited about it. You could actually just take the piece from the library that we've already written for you and edit it manually. So if you don't have the AI tools and you wanted to do something around this topic, which I do believe is an amazing topic for a theme for the month of October, if you'd like to build out your editorial calendar, because we know that everybody's confused by it. There's a lot of meat to it. There's a lot to go through.
Yeah, and when I write these prompts to, and Sam, you did this too, always putting the goal in first. So that goal is I put in here, give me 3 points. It gives, I want it to be educational, and then also your audience, because that's where you can change things. So, I have retirees in here, but then I could just go in easily and say, adjust this for COIs. And then you layer on your tone on top of this for that audience. So Sam, who do you want me to pick here?
Want to do the steady captain? We can always change it.
That,
What we've
uh,
done with these voices, by the way, is we found after reviewing hundreds of thousands of communications in FMG that really it usually falls into one of these 6 voice types that many of you use with clients. So you're able to choose one, and then at any point you can choose a new one and reread it, and you'll see that the actual article itself completely changes. And so remember, we talked about using the voice that you're in the words that your clients use. Play around with those and see which one aligns most closely to the type of language your particular clients would use. And that is where you'll get closest to, making sure that you're matching it.
And while Sam was talking there, you might have seen it did a little compliance check. So what it's doing is we've already built in those compliance guardrails so that you're going to get a closer piece, one with picking that persona and two with the compliance checks than you would going just to a chat GPT. So that's why how our solution is a little bit different.
Yeah. And I like that it gave you the title of the post itself, as well as even broke it down into those main points. So you didn't have to, say exactly how to format it. It does that here for you, even adding a conclusion.
Yeah. Okay. So should we use this one or you want to change it at all?
We can use it. One thing I just will point out that, again, if you're thinking about the world of, getting found more with AEO and things, having this chunked content. So you can, what we are talking about here is you can see it's broken up into bullet points, one main thought and then supporting points with it. That is really, really important for the, pleasing the algorithm with AI tools. So when you're writing these pieces, having it broken up like that is really imperative, and our system's already going to do that for you.
Okay, great. So here's that article. And then I just wanted to point out that at the very bottom here, there's a summary that's created. And if you've used our blogging and promotional tools that are built into the system, and you say, I want to share on email, I want to share on social, this is where that's pulling from.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. All right, so we can take this and then let's show email next. And one thing that you could do is copy this and drop this into the AI and say, reformat it to be shorter or to a certain audience or something like that. But we can start fresh here. And this actually has the goal built in here too. So, all right, Sam, what would you like to do for your purpose here?
Let's do educational.
Okay.
And do you want to do a different prompt?
Sure. What do you want?
Um, how about I would like to send an email to clients letting them know about a blog post that I wrote about the one big beautiful bill, and encouraging them to read it because it has updates that are relevant to their financial plan.
This it out.
And I think also just everybody, in the last example, we didn't show you, but we would have hit publish and that blog post would now be on your website. And you could then, send the email and link back to the blog post itself. So I know many of you have been using FMG for a while. You just hit publish, it goes through the compliance steps, and then it would be live on your site.
Okay, great. So we have that up, and then let's see. Who should we be this time? Practical optimist?
Optimist.
Let's do that.
And you can see we've got short, medium, or long versions here of the content. Now, this time you'll notice it also is going to generate a subject line for you, but all of this is able to be changed. So you do not need to come up with the subject line, come up with any of it. It's going to do it for you, but you are able to change any of it.
Okay, so we have a shorter email here, and again, it gives you all these options to change. You can add emojis, make shorter, longer, rephrase, but then we can just copy this. And do it to my email here.
And we are going to be releasing in the very near future the ability where you won't have to copy and paste. You'll just hit a button and it'll generate into an email format for you. So I know that is a feature a lot of you have asked about, but that is coming soon.
And you have this, and you can format this any way you want. I did want to just throw out there that we have the ability to add in video here. So if you took Sam's idea and did like a 2 to 3 minute video, and here's my video summary of this, you can add that to your email here.
And one thing I will say about that too, even if you're, again, you don't have the AI tools or whatever, you record a video. A lot of other platforms, what they'll make you do is first upload that video to Vimeo or YouTube. Then you have to, get the URL and add it here. So you're hosting it somewhere else and you're directing people to those other pages to watch it. What we did at FMG, which I love, is we're hosting the video for you on a page on your website, a separate landing page. So when you click video, you upload it, and then you can even choose, just like through a slider bar, the frame of the video you want as your thumbnail. And when people click to watch, they're going to stay on your website. So you're not sending them to YouTube. You're not going to have some weird, at the end of YouTube videos, sometimes it recommends strange videos based on the person's previous viewing habits. You're not going to have any of that. You're just going to have them living within your ecosystem. So I love that.
Okay, great. And so here's just a preview of what that email looks like on my template here. And then, as Sam said, you'd schedule this and it'll go to compliance. And as soon as that's approved, it'll go out.
Amazing. So think of it this way. You get the blog post done, you have it on the website. And then what I would suggest doing is looking at your calendar, and maybe the first week of the month, you send out the blog to your clients, maybe the second week to your prospects, and the third week to centers of influence. You could certainly send them all to all the lists at once, but if you do tend to get a lot of replies or correspondence, it might be better to break them up. And then think about how could you take that one piece, which we'll show you here, and schedule out one social post a week based off that blog post.
All right, great. Okay, so let's show social here. Okay, so if you've had multiple set up here, you can pick which one you want to go to. And then do we want to do, one key stat for retirees about, do you think it takes this? I haven't tried it.
Let's see.
See if I have to spell it out or not.
About you might need to type it out. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, let's see what it does and we can change it.
And you'll see that they're also, because emojis are very effective in social posts of getting attention and breaking up text. We do have that emoji. It's calling it the open banking benefits bill. I never even heard of it.
I don't know. Okay, let's try that again. Use the one big.
There you go. Oh, we missed a B. It's OBBB.
Oh my gosh. And from your conversation with the CPA, I heard it's called the OB3 in DC.
Yes,
Everybody has a different name for it. So, okay.
So I would say, looking at this post, I would say that we didn't give a good prompt, because I wouldn't say that's a good post. What I would do to get a good post, would be to take the article that we have in the FMG library, put it in here, copy it in, and say, can you summarize this and make a social post for me? Because
Mhm.
then it's going to give a lot of context. We're not giving it enough context to get a real, like, nobody's going to love as we journey through different financial. Like, we didn't give it enough context to make it really great. So you can see how the more that you prompt it to, the better. And that's where building off of our content library, using that as your base is going to be your biggest win, I think.
And if this was a good one, we could just come in
In the
here and
interest of
post
time,
it.
we're going to show you.
If this was a better one without the journey, and then you can come over here and just personalize it more by using, if you haven't used our Canva design integration, this is a really nice way to personalize things. You can put in whatever you want in here and find a really nice image. And this is another way to, get personalization at scale.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat how many of you have Canva integrated to your account? I mean, for social media being so visual like it is, you really can't go wrong with you using a system like Canva to make your content match your logo, your fonts, your brand, but also pop when you're, on social. Looks like love it. Need to do it. Yes. Use it for almost everything. How do you do it? So you're going to sign up for Canva. You're going to go to canva.com. If you don't have an account already, you sign up there. There is a free version. And I'd love to know, maybe you guys can let us know, do you use the free version or the premium version? I know a lot of people use free. Um, and basically, you'll add, when you set up your account, your logo, and it will help you pull out your brand colors. And then you can take any image and you can say, you can drag your logo on it, put your colors on it, and then add any of these to your posts in the FMG library. So once you've got it, it takes a little bit of time to set it up, but once you do, it
Mhm.
makes all of your content look great, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, you're using a social post from FMG, you're editing it with AI to make it your own, and then you're just adding on an image that really makes it personalized. So you're doing everything based off the content we've already given you, but with just a few tweaks, it looks so customized and personalized for your brand and your audience. Someone is saying they believe the paid version is 15 a month, but we see a lot of people saying free. I think a lot of people start with free
Well,
and then they might feel like it's worth it to pay. So I guess it depends on your own business.
yeah, I find that when the integration in here, all the images are free. The people who upgrade to premium are building content pieces, and it can be annoying that a lot of the good stuff is locked, and that's when they upgrade.
Okay.
So, but most people here can just use free and get a lot out of that. All right. So, Sam, was there anything else you want to demo while we're in the platform, or do you want to jump back to the presentation?
Yeah, let's go back to the presentation.
Okay.
So are you all feeling like you understand? You take that one piece of the main content, you can use the FMG library to search for it, or you can write your own. You add it to your site as a blog. Then you're going to look at, okay, how do I convert this now into an email? At least one, hopefully more than one, hopefully three. And then how do I convert it into 4 social posts for the month? And then optionally, you could make a video, you could do a webinar, you can do all these other things, but that would be at a minimum what you're doing. And it becomes this theme for the month that you're constantly reiterating with your audience.
So here I just took some images of everything. So it shows you starting with the blog. So on the left-hand side, that's what the blog scheduler email will look like. So if I said, I finished my blog, I promote it, and I want to send it via email, I'm going to get that. And I didn't touch it or do anything to it. You don't edit that. If you wanted it edited, you're going to edit that bottom summary part that I showed you. And then the other side is I took that blog and I put it into the email and I used AI to create a different piece. And here is where Sam was talking about that you probably could have just all your three, hit your, clients, prospects, COIs with that same thing.
Exactly.
And then this is for the social one. So again, that's the blog. And then on the left-hand side, the blog scheduler. So that's what it automatically produces and will post to your social. And then on the other side, that I use the social builder, dropped it in there, and I use Canva to customize the image. All right, Sam, do you want to talk about video? Because I know you are the expert here.
Yes. So, and actually, we got a good question. Someone saying if they don't have an FMG website, and they want to add video to email, do we still generate a landing page for them? And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. So they can still use video on their email and in their social and all that. So, and then because any web content, if you don't have a website, you get a branded landing page. That's how that web content shows
Amazing.
up.
Our team is so good. See, and I didn't know that. That's awesome. So if you don't have a website with FMG and you just want to use the marketing tools, you still are going to get, all of the great benefit of it. So when it comes to video, there's a few tools that I really love. I love using something called Veed, VEED.io. It's you just open it up on your desktop. You use the camera and the microphone built in, you record something quick, and then you're able to edit it right in the tool. Descript is very similar. A lot of people who have started using it for podcasts also use it for video. Even on your phone, you can just use your cell phone, put it on a tripod, and record yourself looking at it. And then when you go to send it to FMG to upload it, just make sure that you're not like texting it to an admin or emailing it because it will compress the file. So you really want to use a file sharing platform like Google Drive or Dropbox. That's a big mistake we see where people then say, I record these videos and it looks so blurry and not professional. It's because when you're transferring the file, it's compressing. So even a 60-second video, even though it might go through a text, you really want to use those file sharing platforms to make it look better. And with these videos, remember that it does not need to be a high production value. You just talking, you have an article in the library about the one big beautiful bill. It has some of the high level points. You could literally read, I don't want you to read it like a script where it sounds monotone, but you can cover those, let's talk about what the three main takeaways are and why this bill is something you should be paying attention to. Here they are, and you talk about them. I'm sending an email to all of to everybody on my list at the end of the week that breaks down way more about this bill and what you need to know. If you want to be on, get that email, shoot me a DM and I'll add you to the list. Or, if you have a sign up link, you can send them to your website to sign up. But something like that, you're giving a very high level overview, but you can use the content as the basis for what it is that you're talking about.
All right, great.
Yeah. So these were the four types that we talked about of how you can take this one piece and repurpose it into four different things. So just reminding, like when you're thinking about what types of topics work, we've been using the one big beautiful bill just to make it easy because I think giving you a tangible idea, makes it more concrete. But it could be anything, right? At the end of the year, it might be year-end financial tasks that you need to think about. If there's breaking news about something happening in the world, that could be your piece. If you have a lot of clients that are talking about buying second homes, your whole month's worth of content could be about, the most popular places for people to buy second homes right now, or what to consider, or the tax implications. So whatever you choose for your anchor piece, that's going to be what the blog is. And then just remember that the email, you want to break it into those three groups: customers, centers of influence, and prospects. And also just a reminder that what I like to do is every single week, at the end of the week, I look at who did I email with, not just the prospects themselves, but anyone on their team. So their admin, their office manager, and you should connect with put those emails, A, into your CRM, but B, you should connect with them on LinkedIn. You just pop their email in, and that way, even if they're not opening your emails, if they're connected with you and you post about it on social, they'll be a lot more likely to see your social posts. So that's a great idea as well. And then when you share it on social media, don't just say, go read my blog post about the one big beautiful bill. Pull out a stat or a fact that's going to be relevant for your audience and lead with that as the key takeaway. And then we already talked about video. So hopefully that gives you some ideas as well.
Yeah, and I think sometimes advisors can feel overwhelmed with coming up with all the channels that they need to reach out to, all the content and stuff. I hope that you walk away with this saying, gosh, that was pretty easy to take one idea and just repurpose it efficiently over all of these so that it feels less overwhelming and like you could do that.
Yes. And what I think is really going to help all of you is when you leave here today, remember, we're going to send you the one big beautiful bill toolkit. So we've already done all of this for you, which is why we're not showing you like the final outcome of each one. Pull it up and look at how did we take that piece and make four different social posts and two different emails and all the different pieces, and you can see how all the social posts are a little different from each other, yet they each grab your attention, and it'll really help illustrate the point for you. So really use that as your guide of how you can do this going forward.
Great. And just, we always finish with some recommended content ideas for October. So again, check out that 10-minute marketing calendar. You should get that in your emails. For holidays and observances, we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've got Halloween, which is a little more, which is a fun holiday that you can hit on, and National Financial Planning Month. And all you have to do is go into the library and search those keywords, and you'll find content on those. This one I'm really excited about, that we just
Yes.
updated the tax strategies presentation. This is available in premium marketing and it comes with all the pieces. So you're going to get the presentation with the script, with the invites and everything. So it's the easy button in a webinar. And
And
webinars
I
are great for
really,
generating leads.
yes, I was just going to say this is such a great one where you can present it. You can also turn it into like a longer video that you put up on, YouTube as, an educational piece. But we update this regularly where we've been waiting for it to come out with the updates, and the visuals in this are great. So even I've seen people take some of the visuals and even turn them into like social posts as well. So there's so much good content in here.
Great. And Sam, do you want to talk about our Do It For Me program?
Yeah, so we have been doing these webinars for a long time, and people would join and say, I love all the things you're doing. Just like today, how we're giving you the one big, beautiful bill toolkit, they would say, instead of, you telling me what to do and me doing it, can you just do it for me? Can I just pay you to be the one to create the social posts and the blog and the emails? And we would say, no. Well, about 2 years ago, we came up with the option to actually execute it for you. So if you upgrade to the Do It For Me program, Susan Theater, our CMO, and I actually hand select which pieces are going to be the ones that go out on your behalf, what social posts will accompany them, what emails. The emails are versioned for centers of influence and prospects, just like we teach you. And then you meet every single month with your own dedicated marketing concierge who will talk about what that month's calendar looks like, help make it customized to your particular audience. And then if there's any, like, let's say you wanted to host a webinar, they would help you set it up, get the landing page going, build out the whole event toolkit, send the email to invite people, all of that good stuff. So it's really taking the heavy lifting off your plate. We have people who are in this program who every month just say, yep, send as is. We have other people who go through it with a fine tooth comb with their concierge. But if it's doing everything we went through this month and our team being the one to execute for you.
Great. And we have our save the date for the next webinar, October 22nd, and Elise will be back for that one.
Do we want to put the poll up about, because some people are
Oh, I
asking
forgot the poll.
questions.
Let's do the poll. If you're interested in hearing more about these premium options that include AI or the Do It For Me program that Sam just talked about that you want to take marketing off your plate, the poll should be popped up right now.
Yeah, it is. So you can just say yes. And some people are asking about pricing, or I don't have these premium features, or how much does it cost to do the Do It For Me program? You can just say yes, and we will get in touch with you. Oh, Allison and Stephanie both said they love the Do It For Me program and that they love, love, love FMG. We love you back. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank
yes.
you.
Thanks.
You all make our job so fun, and you have so many great ideas. So thank you so
Oh, we
much.
got Diffum as a no-brainer. I love that one. That's great.
DIFM is what we
Thanks,
call Do It For
Jewel.
Me internally.
And then for all those people who said not yet, and for your homework, here's the QR code to download the mobile app.
Amazing. Please, I want to see more of you using this. So download it, give us your feedback, and I think that you guys will really, really love it. And it's got little alerts. So like if breaking news happens, you can sign up to get notifications like, hey, there's a new email on a breaking news or timely topic. So definitely check it out.
All right. Did we get all the questions in the Q&A? We are right at the top of our time here.
Fine. Um, Days and times that's best to post or send out content to improve traffic. That's a great one. I wouldn't worry about what time of day you post your blog post. That's irrelevant. Just making sure you're regularly updating it again so that your site is seen as being up to date is the most important thing. But when it comes to for social, you want to post when your audience is online, right? So You think about, when do you typically see the highest spike in engagement? You might need to test it out. If you're working with people who are actively in the, in their work day, a lot of times you'll see people get to the office, they start drinking their coffee, or, they get on their computer and they're checking LinkedIn, they're checking their social platforms. So around that time in the morning is a good time to post. For email, usually Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the morning until about noon have the best open rates.
Great.
Anything else? I'm seeing a lot of questions about, I don't see this feature or that feature. Again, we will love to go through your particular subject. It's hard for Amy and I to know without digging in. So hopefully you said yes to the poll, and we will get you squared away afterwards. But thank you all for joining. You had great questions, and Amy, I learned some things too. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. We're excited. We're excited we hope that you feel empowered to go do this on your own too.
Yep, absolutely. All right,
All
take care,
right.
everyone.
Have a great day.